Om Shanti. Good morning. Today we shall listen to Baba's Avyakta versions. And these Avyakta versions were spoken by Baba on 15th of December 1999. We all know that when it was this year 1999, there was a fear in the world of Y2K. Satellites may go out and this and that, and computers may crash. So there was a great fear. So Baba says, now the fear is over. And Baba is looking at our most highest form. Baba says people in the world may be highest in their positions or such, but that would just be for half a life maybe, or one life. And that is also not guaranteed that they'll stay forever, throughout their lives. But when Baba sees his children, he sees their highest form throughout the Kalpa. Baba says, when you are in Paramdham, there also you are most elevated, highest, because you are sitting near to God. You are the most nearest souls who sit besides God. Then coming to the golden aged world, there also you are the highest, in your highest deity form, the most elevated form. Then Baba says, when we come into the copper age, there also we find that our worship-worthy stage is such that each and every action is being worshipped. Why? Because Baba says in Sangam Yuga, you had led a karma yogi life. So that is why each and every karma is worshipped. And then coming back to the end of the cycle in the Brahmin life, which is also very elevated life, because you become companions of God. So throughout the cycle, we are the highest. Why? Because Baba says you have taken birth from the father and mother, who is the highest. The teacher is also the highest who is teaching you. And the Satguru is also the highest. So you are the children of the highest, you are taught by the highest, and you are given Shrimad by the highest. Then Baba says, do you have this intoxication? During the day, just see yourself, how much we are in this intoxication, that we are the highest. Then Baba says you should have this intoxication. Another reason is because you have the greatest treasure. And what is the treasure? The treasure of the power of thoughts. Baba says you increase or you accumulate your account by using the power of the thought in the right way, by experimenting with it. The more you experiment with it, it is going to increase. But when Baba saw the account of each and every child, Baba said, many have still waste thoughts. They may not be negative thoughts, but many of you have a lot of waste thoughts going on. So the energy is draining. Otherwise, the power of thoughts would give you such energy that you can see magical wonders. A few of them which Baba mentioned was that with this power of thoughts, you'll be able to increase your catching power and touching power. A person may be sitting in London, but you'll be able to catch their thoughts. Why? Because of the power of thoughts. And the power of thoughts also has three specialities in it. One is selflessness, pure, clean, clear. So Baba says it increases your catching power and touching power. In the end, you will be able to see the wonders of it. But Baba says that in order to increase this power of thoughts in the right manner, you need to have a great control of mind. Because when you have great control over your mind, then the power of concentration increases. And with this power of concentration, Baba says that you are able to accumulate the power of thoughts. So we shall listen to Baba's today's Murli, a very powerful Murli. Revised course 15th of December 1999, and today is 19th May 2024. The title for today's Murli is Realize the Importance of the Power of Thoughts and Increase it by Experimenting with it. Yesterday we had this class on how we have to experiment at every level. So Baba is also reinforcing that class. So Baba says, realize the importance of the power of thoughts and increase it by experimenting with it. Today, the highest on high Father is pleased to see all his elevated children. Out of all the souls in the whole world, you children are the most elevated. You are the highest. People of the world speak of those who are highest in the world. However, that is just for one birth. They are highest for just one birth. Whereas you children are the highest, the most elevated of all in the whole cycle. You are the most elevated throughout the whole cycle. Do you know this? Look at your eternal form. Now Baba is spinning the cycle also and making us realize also. Look at your eternal form. You eternal souls remain close to the Father eternally. In Paramdham also, we are the closest to the Father. Can you see that? In your eternal form, you are the most elevated souls who remain close to the Father. All souls stay with the Father there, but your place is very much closer to the Father. In Paramdham, there is that eternal tree, but other souls are also there with the Father, but they are staying away. And we souls are the most closer to the Father. Therefore, eternally, you are the most elevated of all. Now move on to the beginning of the cycle. The first period of time when all of you children have attained your deity status and are in your deity forms. Do you remember your deity forms? At the start of that age, you are embodiments of all attainments. You are the most elevated in all ways in terms of your bodies, minds, and wealth. And out of all of the people, you are constantly full embodiments of all attainments. Now, that is our highest form. No other soul attains such a deity status. Baba says, no other souls attain such a deity status. Even the righteous souls, the dharmatmas, the religion establishers, and the great souls, the mahatmas. So the religion establishers and the great souls are unable to experience being elevated with all attainments. So in golden age and silver age, we are in such a deity stage that we attain all attainments. Nobody in the whole cycle have all the attainments. Where there is no attainment even slightly missing, no attainment is missing. Now, move on to the middle period of time. After golden age and silver age, the copper age. Even in the middle period of time, you souls are worthy of being worshipped. Your non-living idols are worshipped. No other souls are worshipped as accurately in the right way as you worthy of worship are. Just think about it. Is anyone else worshipped as accurately as you are? Because you became karma yogis. The basis is conference age. Even in copper age, that we are worshipped most accurately. Why? Because you became karma yogis. Every act you performed is worship. Because in the stage of karma yogi, each and every act that we performed was so elevated, so highest. That is why Baba says every act you perform is worshipped. Even though there are idols of righteous souls and great souls with your idols in the temple. In India, in many of the temples, you find the idols of some great souls, some gurus is also kept there. But they are not worshipped accurately. Just a tilak is applied to them, that's all. But for the deities, waking up in the morning, Amrit Vela, praising them, and then making them have bath and everything, each and every action is worship. So Baba says, even though there are idols of righteous souls and great souls with your idols in the temple, they are not worshipped as accurately in the right way you are. Therefore, even in the middle period of time, you are the highest, the most elevated of all. Now, come to the present time, end of the cycle. At the end too, in this confluence age, you are the most elevated souls. What greatness do you have? In the end of the cycle, what greatness do we have? You take sustenance from both Bap Dada. We are taking the sustenance from the most elevated Bap Dada. The supreme soul and the first soul. That is, you take sustenance from Bap Dada. You study with them. You claim a right to receive Srimad from the Sadguru. So the sustenance is the highest from Bap Dada. The teachings are from the highest, and the Srimad is from the highest Sadguru. Therefore, eternally at the beginning of the cycle, in the middle period, and also now at the end, you are the highest, the most elevated of all. Do you have that much intoxication that we are the highest throughout the whole cycle? Bap Dada says, now let this awareness emerge. Let this awareness emerge in your minds. Constantly keep this attainment in your minds and intellect. The more this awareness emerges, the more it is in the emerged form, the more you will experience the intoxication of it. If it is merged, no intoxication. If it is emerged, we are in our intoxicated stage. You will also experience happiness. It's not just intoxication. Together with intoxication, there is great happiness and become powerful. You have become the highest souls. Do you have the firm faith that you are now the most highest and became the most elevated, and that you will constantly be the most elevated of all souls? This intoxication, happiness, and the power has to be experienced. Do you have the intoxication of this? If the faith you have in this is strong, to have that intoxication and the awareness in the emerged form, Baba says you have to have the faith firm. So if the faith you have in this is strong, raise your hands. Baba wants to see who has the faith that we are the elevated throughout the cycle. Then Baba looks at the teachers specially. The teachers too raise their hands. Then Baba is looking at the mothers. How many mothers here? So Baba says, you mothers are always swinging in the swing of happiness, super sensuous joy. You are swinging, are you not? You mothers have great intoxication. Why do mothers have great intoxication? Baba says, what intoxication do you have? That the Father has come here for us. Baba has specially come at the end of the cycle for the mothers. Why? Because the mothers were always, they were always kept backwards. That's why. So Baba has, God has specially come for the mothers. You have this intoxication, do you not? From the copper age onwards, everyone made you mothers fall. And this is why the Father has a lot of love for you children, for you mothers. This is why the Father has specially come for you mothers, because they made you fall every now and then. You are becoming happy, but you must remain constantly happy. Not just happy for some time when we meet Baba, but Baba says you have to be constantly happy. Not that you raise your hands now, but that when you are traveling by train, your intoxication reduces a little. In front of Baba, the intoxication is much. We are happy, carefree. But when we travel, when we go out, the intoxication comes down. Your intoxication has to be constant and imperishable. Do not have intoxication only sometimes, because it is your eternal intoxication that shows your happiness. It will radiate your happiness. Like what? Baba compares it. It shows your happiness. Let the faces of you mothers always be such that you are seen as you are seen as spiritual roses even from a distance. Such should be the happiness in you, the intoxication, that you're seen as spiritual roses even from a distance. The visible speciality that everyone likes about this world university is of you mothers. The unique aspect of this university is that it is run by the mothers and the sisters. Is of you mothers who are constantly like spiritual roses in full bloom. Yesterday we heard the meaning of spiritual roses in full bloom. They get completely detached from all the petals also, and just the seed remains. So who are constantly like spiritual roses in full bloom, and that it is you mothers who have taken the responsibility of carrying out such a huge task. Where in the world people thought mothers, they look after the home, that is it. But they did not understand the capacity of the mothers, that they are able to look after a huge task that is appointed by God. That you have taken the responsibility of carrying out such a huge task. Even the Mahamandleshwars believe that it is you mothers who have become the instruments to carry out such a huge task so easily. And it is true that the Mahamandleshwars, they believe that the religious people, the sannyasis, I remember when they came first time to Madhuban, they were invited by Dadi Prakashmani ji, and they saw the whole task, how it was being carried out, and how everything was like perfect in their order and everything so systematically carried out. That is when they said to Dadi, when they were leaving, they said to Dadi, Dadi, can we ask you one thing? We would like to have a gift from you. And what is the gift that we would like to have? He said that the discipline that we saw here, that you have kept here from Amrit Vela until night, they visited the kitchen and everything was so clean and everything was like so systematically done. So he said, now we can believe that this organization that is run by the mothers, it is only the mothers who can keep it so clean and systematically everything functioning. So the gift that we would like to have from you is, can you give us one Brahma Kumar from the headquarters who would make our places systematically run like what you have trained them in. And we can send those Brahma Kumars back after a year, but they should teach our disciples the discipline that you have taught them here. So that was the gift they asked for from Dadi, that we would like to have one Brahma Kumar who can teach disciplines to our Kumars who are there. They don't listen to us. That's what they said. They don't listen to us, and they do not follow the disciplines that we ask them to as a sannyasi. So we feel it is the mother's capacity only to make the Kumars also and to make the whole system run so systematically. They accepted it. So Baba is saying also that even the Mahamandleshwars believe that it is you mothers who have become the instruments to carry out such a huge task so easily. It is wrongly said of women that they can't even work together. This is wrongly said for the women, that they can't work together. Why? In the Lokik world, it is said that if one sister is there, she can do everything perfect. But if two sisters gather together, what happens? What is wrongly said about them? They will gossip more and do less work. This is wrongly said for them. And if three sisters get together, what would happen? Huh? Brothers are saying there will be war. Yes, there will be a fight. There will be a war, definitely, because of jealousy, and the jealousy would come up, then the hatred would come up. So three sisters together cannot do anything, and everything will come down zero. So one sister can do perfect, two sisters would gossip, can't do anything, and three sisters, they ruin the thing. So Baba says this is wrongly said for the women, because Baba has proved that how many sisters today in the yajna? How many dedicated sisters in the yajna? 40,000. 40,000 sisters who are completely full-time dedicated for Baba's service. And the force of mothers is different. And this is when the politician who came to Mount Abu, the governor of Rajasthan, and we had teachers bhatti during that time. And the whole Om Shanti Bhavan was full of all 3,000 teachers. All the senior teachers had gathered. And when he came in, because everyone was in meditation, we had bhatti that time. And after that bhatti in the evening time, he just came to talk to the sisters. So when he came there, the vibrations that he felt, he was like, it gave him a blow like this, and he said, today I see it is an army of ladies. It is an army, and so this task, nobody can stop them. He mentioned at that time, he felt at that time. So Baba says, it is wrongly said of women that they can't even work together, or that they find it very difficult to work together. However, who are the instruments here? So this is the proof that it is godly power working through all the sisters also. So however, who are the instruments here? It is you mothers. When people come to meet you, what do they ask? Is it women who run this organization? They're astonished, yeah. Do they never fight amongst themselves? Are there never any conflicts? What they don't know is that you are not ordinary women. What they don't know is, why don't they fight? No conflicts, nothing. Because these are not ordinary women. Baba has that intoxication. Do we have that intoxication? Baba has that intoxication, that my daughters are not ordinary daughters. They are the most elevated daughters. So this is the intoxication God has. Do we have that much? So Baba says, what they don't know is that you are not ordinary women, that you are women who have been created by God Himself, that it is God's blessings that are making you do everything. Then Baba comes on to the brothers. You brothers, do not think that the mothers are given more regard than you. You brothers are also remembered as the 5 Pandavas. Together with the Shaktis, the 7 goddesses, they've also shown one Pandava. The mothers cannot do anything without the Pandavas. So Baba is feeling the intoxication in you also. The Pandavas cannot do anything without the mothers. Both arms are needed. So these are both arms, the Shaktis and the Pandavas. Both arms are needed. But because the mothers had been put down so much, the father is showing you in a practical way that what everyone else in the world considers to be impossible, you have made it possible. All of you are happy seeing the mothers, aren't you? The brothers are also happy seeing the mothers? Yes. You are happy, are you not? If the father hadn't made the mothers his instrument, then because this is new knowledge, a new system, if it were still the brothers, there would be a lot of upheavals. If Baba would have kept the brothers in front, then a lot of upheaval. The mothers are their shield. It reminds me of I don't know whether Nirvairbhai ever shared his experience with you, but in Bombay, when he was in Bombay, and they had an exhibition, a mela, a spiritual mela there. So, in that mela, there was this point of God is not omnipresent, the God of Gita. So, these stalls were also kept there. So, he was like a guide in the initial days, his initial days. So, he was as a guide explaining that. And some of the people who were of some special sect like the Hindu Mahasabha, as they say, who were strong believers of the Hindu philosophy, they got so angry at him. They got so angry at him. How can you preach these things? And they were about to beat him. They were about to beat him. And it was good that our dadis were there. So they all came in front and they stood there and they made Nirvairbhai run away from here. Now they couldn't touch the dadis, the brothers, they couldn't touch the sisters there. So that is how Nirvairbhai was saved. It is normally Nirvairbhai shares his experience that if the mothers wouldn't have been there, I would have been beaten up because it's new knowledge, new system. And during those days, they were very intoxicated. So he was like speaking it with full authority, not realizing that the other may feel it bad. So Baba says that Baba made these mothers the instruments. Why? Because of the new knowledge, the new system. If it were still the brothers, there would have been a lot of upheaval. The mothers are their shield. Because this is new knowledge, these are new things. However, the brothers are always there with the sisters. It is like Baba's both arms. So, always there with the sisters. The Pandavas are ahead in their own task, and the sisters are ahead in their own task. All of this work proceeds without any obstacles because the advice of both is taken. In any work, Baba says the advice of both is taken. Every day, Bap Dada sees all the work of all of you children do and how you continue to create new plans. Baba is seeing that how each child is contributing so much in Baba's service. Some create plans, some execute them, some administer them. So everyone has their own roles. And Baba is seeing how children are taking out this whole task in the world. So Bap Dada sees all the work that all of you children do and how you continue to create new plans. All of you are aware of what time this is. Do you remember the time? The year 99 has almost come to an end. You were thinking that the year 99 has arrived. 99 has arrived. Lot of fear. It was a year for you to serve and remain free from obstacles. It is in this year 99 that you have been having silent bhattis too. That was a year when we had silent bhattis. To the extent that everyone in the world is afraid, you are going into the depths of remembrance. There is silence of the mind anyway. Everyone's thoughts were calmed down, so silence anyway. You go to the bottom of the ocean of knowledge and bring back jewels of new experiences. Bap Dada had also sent you a signal earlier to tell you that the greatest treasure you have, the treasure that enables you to create your future as well as the present, it is the treasure of elevated thoughts. So silence bhattis were going on, and in this silence bhattis, what were we doing? With the power of thoughts, we were going into deep experiments and experiences. So Baba says that Bap Dada had also sent you the signal earlier to tell you that the greatest treasure you have, the treasure that enables you to create your future as well as the present, is your treasure of elevated thoughts. The power of thoughts that you children have is the greatest power. Now Baba is coming back from the highest, then seeing the intoxication of the children and seeing how intoxicated all are. Now Baba comes back to the central core of the Murli, which is the power of thoughts. The power of thoughts that you children have is a great power. It is a power of elevated thoughts. Everyone has thoughts. In the world, everyone has thoughts. But it is only you who have the power of elevated thoughts. The power of good wishes and pure feelings. This is the greatest treasure that we possess. The power of thoughts, elevated thoughts, the power of good wishes and pure feelings, the power that enables you to concentrate your minds and intellect. The more progress you make, the more you will continue to accumulate your power of thoughts. You must not waste this power. Baba says, you must not waste this power. The main way in which you waste this power is by having waste thoughts. This is how the energy is drained. So Baba says the main way in which you waste this power is by having waste thoughts. Bap Dada has seen that even now, many of the children are having waste thoughts. Baba gives the result, cautions us. Bap Dada has seen that even now, the majority of you are still having waste thoughts throughout the day. Those who use their physical wealth economically, always have plenty. Those who waste their wealth are deceived at some time or another. Similarly, the greatest wealth that we have is the power of elevated thoughts. Similarly, your pure elevated thoughts have so much power that you are able to increase your catching power and your power to catch vibrations. It is only with the power of elevated thoughts that we generate so much power that we increase the power to catch vibrations. Just as the instruments of science, the wireless, the telephone, etc., do their work in the same way. They catch the frequencies. When you have the treasure of pure thoughts, then even though you may be sitting in London, you are able to catch the vibrations of souls just as clearly as you would be able to do through the wireless or the telephone or the TV, etc. So many of these facilities have been invented. But your catching power will be much sharper than any of them, any of these instruments. The power of elevated thoughts will enable us to be so powerful to catch the vibrations, and that also so sharper than any of this. This will also increase with your power of concentration. The more we are able to focus our thoughts, concentrate them, it will increase to such a great extent. All of those supports are coming to an end. The mobiles will also come to an end. The satellites won't function. Everything will be out of order. So during that time, Baba says, when all these supports are coming to an end, on what basis do all of those instruments function? On the basis of light, electricity. All the physical facilities of comfort are based on electricity, on light. So can your spiritual light, your spiritual power not do this task? You should be able to catch whatever vibrations you want from those who are near and far. Only when your minds and intellects, when will this work? Baba says, only when your minds and intellects are both concentrated and stable will your catching power increase. You will have many experiences. Baba says, you will have many experiences. But in the concentration also, concentration of mind and intellect, when your thoughts are selfless, altruistic, pure and clear, you will have many experiences very quickly. Yesterday we saw that the intellect has to be clean, clear and pure. So Baba says selfless, pure and clear. You will have many experiences very clear. Science will bow down in front of your power of silence. Science will have to bow down in front of the power of silence. Even now people think that there is something missing in science that needs to be accomplished. What is missing? The spiritual touch is missing. The spiritual power is missing. This is why Bap Dada is once again underlining for you that your power of thoughts will enable you to do fast service in your final stage. Therefore, pay great attention to the power of your thoughts. So Baba is signaling that we have to be cautious on our thoughts. And this will be like the takeaway from the retreat. The power of your thoughts. Save it, accumulate it. It will become very useful. You will be able to become a soul who constantly experiments with the power of your thoughts. What is the importance of science? What is the importance of science? It is only when scientists make scientific experiments that people believe that they are doing something wonderful. It has to be experimented. Then only they will experience. Therefore, in order to experiment with your power of silence, you need the power of concentration. You need the power of concentration. The main basis of the power of concentration is to have the power to control your mind. If the mind is not controlled, it is in a state of upheavals, no concentration. It is with this that you increase the power of your mind. So thoughts, catching power, concentration, and the control over the mind, all these are connected. Thoughts, vibrations, catching of vibrations, and the mind and intellect to be selfless, pure and clear, and focusing, concentration of the mind by controlling the thought power, the control of the mind. All this is very deeply connected, and it is this that we have to have attention on. So Baba says, it is with this that you can increase the power of your mind. The power of the mind is praised a great deal. Those with occult powers also show temporary miracles with the power of their minds. You too will show the benevolent miracles. Baba says, you too will show benevolent miracles by using the right method, not with occult powers. This will become blessings. This will become blessings. This experiment with the power of thoughts will be proved to be a blessing for souls. Therefore, first of all, check whether you have the controlling power to control your mind. It starts from there. Controlling power to control the mind, then we are able to concentrate, clean, and then increase the power of elevated thoughts, and we can see the results by catching the vibrations, and we can also see the miracles, the spiritual miracles, which becomes blessings for all. So Baba says, they show temporary miracles, but we show benevolent miracles by using the right method and not the occult power. This will become blessings. This experiment with the power of thoughts will be proved to be a blessing for souls. Therefore, first of all, check whether you have the controlling power to control the mind. Just as with science, you are able to switch something on or off in a second. Switch on or switch off in a second. In the same way, check whether you are able to control your mind in a second for as long as you want in the way you want. You should be able to see yourself as an embodiment of success, both in yourself and in service. However, Bap Dada sees that at present you only pay ordinary attention to increasing your account of the power of thoughts. You don't pay as much attention to that power as you should. Huh? So Baba is cautioning us. You speak and act automatically on the basis of your thoughts. There will be no need to make individual effort if you pay attention to this. You think, today I will pay attention to control my words. Today I will pay attention to control my drishti. Today I will change my attitude. So single things we do, that does not bring result. We have to bring them together. So Baba says, you think today I will change my attitude by paying attention to it. When your power of thoughts is powerful, you can automatically control all of these things. Your attitude, your drishti, and your words. You will then be saved by having to labor. So realize the importance of the power of thoughts. The pattis are especially being conducted for you to be able to instill this habit, to focus on the power of thoughts. By continuing to pay attention to the habits you instill here, you will make them eternal. Do you understand how important this is? The greatest of all treasures that the Father gives you is the treasure of elevated thoughts. The thoughts full with good wishes and pure feelings. The Father gives this treasure to every one of you. But you accumulate it number-wise. Your power to experiment with this treasure is also number-wise. Your power to experiment with these treasures is also number-wise. Now, have you ever experimented with your good wishes and pure feelings? Have you experienced a successful result by doing this in the right way? This is happening very little at present. Baba says you are experimenting very little, but it has to increase. Eventually, the power of your thoughts will become very great. At present, to give a message in words, you use up your time and wealth and you fluctuate. You become tired as well. However, when you are able to serve with the power of your elevated thoughts, you will save all of those things. Therefore, increase your power of thoughts. When you increase your power of thoughts, revelation will take place very quickly. Baba will be revealed, the task will be revealed, the great souls will be revealed. So Baba says the work of revelation will start soon, very quickly. How many souls have you given the message to in the last 62, 63 years? In 1999, the yajna completed 63 years. So Baba says, how many souls have you given the message to in the last 62, 63 years? You haven't even served 900,000. You have to give this message to all the souls of the whole world. So how many billion souls are there? As yet, it hasn't become clear that God is teaching you. This aspect is also not clear. That God is making you move and that God, Karan Karavanhar, is working through you. As yet, there is just the sound that all of you are doing good work. This is the wave that was experienced. Now the wave is, yes, there is definitely some power that they have. So before it was like they are doing a good work. But Karavanhar is still incognito. With your power of thoughts, you can transform everyone's intellect, whether in the form of God's divine activities or in his form of the Father. God will be revealed. Therefore, once again, Bap Dada is now still asking you to pay attention to increasing your power of thoughts and to experiment with that continuously. Do you understand? Bap Dada told you to practice concentrating your minds in a second. When adverse situations suddenly come, you will be able to finish that problem with the power of your minds. You will be able to finish any problems. That situation will just be something to teach you a lesson. Therefore, all of you must now concentrate your mind and intellect. Baba wants us to do the drill. See whether you are able to do this. So, in a second, can we focus our mind and it? So Baba conducted the drill and Baba says, continue to practice this throughout the day. Acha, to all the elevated souls everywhere, to all the souls who play an elevated part in the beginning, the middle, and at the end, to those who have experienced the successful results of the elevated thoughts, to those who, as well as being easy yogis, are also souls who experiment, to those who increase all their powers with their power of thoughts, to those who pay full attention to their minds and intellects, to the children who constantly experiment, Bap Dada's love and remembrances and Namaste. हम रूहानी बच्चों की रूहानी बाप दादा को याद प्यार गुड मॉर्निंग और नमस्ते नमस्ते शुक्रिया बाबा शुक्रिया. Bap Dada is seeing all the children of this land and abroad. All those children who sent Yad Pyar to Baba. So Baba is answering them also. The love and remembrances you send through your thoughts and your heart-to-heart conversation reaches Bap Dada. Love and remembrance to all you children in every country, wherever you may be listening to Baba through the power of science. Special love and remembrance to Dr. Janak, because although she is physically sitting there, her mind is here. Therefore, special love and remembrance to each and every one of you. Acha, very good yoga bhakti programs are taking place. Then Bap Dada was speaking to the dadis. Do you constantly consider yourself to be the lights of Bap Dada's eyes? The lights of Bap Dada's eyes. By constantly being merged in Baba's eyes, you'll constantly be merged in Baba's drishti. This is the special festivity of the father and the children at the conference age. To meet, to listen, to eat and drink with Baba is also the special festivity of the conference age. You will all return home together while celebrating in this way. Then you will go down into your kingdom. You are going to rule your kingdom with Father Brahma. It is good. People of the world are constantly thinking, and you are constantly celebrating. You don't have any thoughts as to what will happen and how something is going to happen, do you? You don't have any of these types of thoughts. Acha, Bap Dada's blessing for us children today is, may you use all the powers you have received in this final birth and become filled with the willpower. May you use all the powers you have received in this final birth and become filled with willpower. This sweet drama is predestined in a very good way. No one can change it. However, in this elevated Brahmin birth of the drama, you have received many powers. The Father has willed them to you, and so you will have, and so you have the willpower. Use this power whenever you want. Become detached from the bondage of your body and stabilize in the karmatic stage. I am detached. I am the master. I am a soul who has been made an instrument by the Father. Stabilize your mind and intellect in this awareness, and you will be said to be filled with willpower. Today's slogan, do service from your heart and the door to blessings will open. Do the service from your heart and the door to blessings will open. Om Shanti. And today is third Sunday. So Baba says International World Meditation Day, and all Brahmin children will collectively have yoga from 6:30 to 7:30. You may be going back to your places and there you'll have the yoga. So stabilize yourself in that, in your ancestor form, and donate powers to the whole tree. Bring every soul personally in front of you and give them drishti filled with love and give them the feeling of belonging. Shanti. Om Shanti.